The following is a presentation of TFNN. Time to talk about your health. Living a primal lifestyle.
You know, we have Tom from Tampa on the phone. Hey, Tom. Good morning. It's bright and early now, huh?
Hey, thanks. Good.
Hi, Tom.
How you guys doing, Nico?
Doing great.
Good. Hey, your newsletter's outstanding, man. I'm telling you, man, it is outstanding. And so is the Primal Edge. I love that stuff. I'd never be without it. I mean, I've been on it now 3-4 months, man. I mean, it's just, I can't get over how good I feel.
Primal Edge is, people are raving about it. People who are trying it, they know because you can feel it.
Would not be without it.
Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044. Now your hosts, Nico de Haan and Paige Clark.
Good morning. Welcome to Living a Primal Lifestyle, where we explore a return to a more balanced and natural wild world to recover our natural health and regain our rights and freedoms. Good morning. I'm Nico de Haan. It's a beautiful day in downtown St. Petersburg. It's 72 degrees and clear skies, going up to about 82 today. So we're in that fall rhythm, and it's nice weather. We love it. I'd like to remind you, please pick up our Health Signals newsletter. I got a brand new one coming out next week, so be on the lookout for that on Tuesday. And this is volume 21, and it really talks about the landmark study that suggests that the autoimmune paleo protocol is what you need to be doing. This is where we study a lot of this type of diet, and you'll find that it's very, very healthy. Also like to remind you to keep yourself really healthy by getting the Primal Edge. This is our one-shot wonder. We have over 310 cell-ready ingredients, organic, and they're liquid. So it's easy to take. Tastes pretty good. It's very soil-based, so fulvic and humic acid are kind of nature's molecule that tells you when the good stuff comes in and the bad stuff out. So it's really programmed to receive all the nutrition you can. And, of course, detox, help you with all the other kinds of things, too. Of course, Paige is out of town. She'll be back in December. She's having a fantastic time, I'm sure, in Thailand with her daughter. And we wish her well and safe travels, for sure. Number here is 877-927-6648. I'd like to talk today about cholesterol. It's in the news all the time, and when it comes to the brain, there's a lot of things that people just don't understand. This lack of understanding is part of what makes dealing with cognitive decline so difficult, but there's a lot of new studies that come out, and it's going to help our knowledge, I think. Recently, there's a new study that found that healthy cholesterol levels may be vital for avoiding dementia, especially in women. And here's why it's so important to know. You know, people a lot of times will get confused about dementia and Alzheimer's. The main distinction to remember is that dementia isn't really an illness. It's a group of symptoms. It refers to the symptoms that affects one's memory, ability to perform daily activities, and communication. On the other hand, Alzheimer's disease is the most common form of dementia. Often when asked to describe or picture somebody with dementia, the image comes to mind as an elderly man. However, dementia is most commonly found in women. According to the brain test, 5 million people in the United States currently live with some form of dementia related to their age. Approximately 1 in every 6 women and 1 out of every 10 men living past the age of 55 will develop some form of dementia, according to the estimates. That's why it's important for studies to dive into dementia and, especially for women, they say. Now, most of this research is coming from the UK, and researchers from the University of Melbourne worked with data from 135 participants from the Women's Healthy Aging Project to look at the implications of cardiovascular risk factors in middle age on the cognition. For women who are aging normally, and according to the study, this was published on the Brain Imaging and Behavior study. In 1992, participants completed the midlife cardiovascular risk measurements and then had brain scans and cognitive assessments in 2012. The study notes. So researchers found that women with normal levels of good cholesterol in 1992 had less white matter damage in their brains later in life. Researchers found that on a type of cholesterol known as the HDL, which is also known as the good cholesterol. It moves through the bloodstream and helps to lower the bad cholesterol. A separate study also published in Brain and Imaging Behavior helped highlight that researchers can predict a woman's memory performance at the age 70 based on the volume of gray matter in their brain 10 years earlier. Together, both of these studies mean there's a lot of understanding. There's a lot of understanding going on. I guess both these. It means a lot for understanding. Okay. These studies are essential to helping people predict and manage their cognitive decline. Dementia may be more frightening for people to discuss, but a big part of the fear is based on the lack of understanding, it says here. So, you know, we've been talking a lot in our program about good cholesterol and bad cholesterol, and we've noted that there are different types of bad cholesterol. So they kind of lump them into two different things. But there's misleading statistics that show that we may be entirely wrong, says a new research. Heart health may not have much to do with cholesterol levels at all. In the case of good versus bad cholesterol, things are less clear-cut than we'd like them to be. An increasing number of studies suggest that the high-density LDL cholesterol, or the good cholesterol, may not be that good after all. A recent study finding an unsettling association between HDL and mortality in men. Another study found that HDL levels correlated with a higher risk of heart disease among women. Now, a new research has shone a critical light on the bad or low density lipoproteins, the LDL cholesterol. Researchers found, this guy is from Sweden, and he set out to analyze the findings of 3 large reviews that maintain that LDL cholesterol gives rise to osteosclerosis and the cardiovascular disease, and that statins prevent the cardiac CVD. So why is the high LDL cholesterol not the culprit here? And this is Dr. Van Cove and his team. Let's see here. According to the scientific theory, they can never be proven true, but it is shown to be false. So they said, this is getting very confusing here. So they set out to see if bad cholesterol could be falsified. The hypothesis that high cholesterol LDL is the main cause of heart disease is invalid, explained to researchers, because people with low levels become just as scarred as people with the high levels. And the risk of the cardiovascular disease is the same. So good cholesterol, how much is too much? The mantra of HDL cholesterol, the good cholesterol, may no longer be the case for everybody. That is good. The more you have, the better it is. The usual argument in support of this is that they say people have shown that high cholesterol, or LDL, predicts the future for cardiovascular disease. This is correct, but the association is not the same as the causation, they say. Not only are the studies unable to prove the casualty, but the statistical methods are also flawed, they say. And the authors go on to point a range of other potential causes of cardiovascular disease. Of course, this has been all studied before, and we talked about that with Dr. Sinatra that says there's no correlation at all. So let me go on with this when we get back. I'll be right back. You know what's cool? Taking something that's good for you. Something specifically formulated to help with weight loss, better sleep, stress reduction, and the need to detox.
Nico, our hunter and gatherer ancestors found all their nutritional requirements for health in their wild environment. But today, our food sources no longer contain the vitamins, minerals, and nutrients our bodies need to stay healthy and strong.
That's why we need Primal Edge Daily Nutrition. It includes a special blend of ionic, soil-based vitamins, minerals, fatty, and amino acids in an easy-to-use liquid form.
Primal Edge is powered by highly concentrated fulvic and humic acids, nature's preferred delivery system. They have been called miracle molecules because, like sunlight, air, and water, life cannot exist without them.
That's right, Paige. They ensure we receive all the nutrition we need to be healthy and thrive. We take it every morning.
Primal Edge, formulated and approved by Nico and Paige of Living a Primal Lifestyle. Buy it today for just $89. Click on the Primal Edge banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartleys, ABCs, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com. Will the S&P 500 continue to climb? For bold trades on U.S. large-cap stocks in either direction, trade SPXL, SPUU, or SPXS. Directions Daily S&P 500 Bull and Bear Leveraged ETFs. Direction Leveraged ETFs. An investor should carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risks, charges, and expenses before investing. A fund's prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a fund's prospectus and summary prospectus, call 866-476-7523 or visit directioninvestments.com. A fund's prospectus and summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-873-7618.
And welcome back. I'd like to remind you on the on my newsletter at the last section of it, the thing on Purium, we have two great products, the CBD plus 1,500 milligrams and the Biomedic, and the links are all here in the blue. CBDs, you get a discount, and of course the Biomedic, you get a nice discount too. Of course, we have our Primal Edge here too. The links right now aren't working. I've got some new links that are coming, so I apologize for that, but I'm trying to get this new format together here, and it's working kind of slow, so please be patient with us. It's worth it. Okay, so there's another type of bad cholesterol, and doctors don't usually test for that, and we've talked about this with Paige, and Paige has really brought this to the forefront. We've all heard the warnings about the LDLs, otherwise known as the bad cholesterols, but have you heard about the lipoprotein A, or LPA? It's another kind of bad cholesterol that's not detected on your regular cholesterol tests when you go see your doctor. So you have to really request this, because normally your doctor will not, unless you get a Primal or paleo-style doctor that may do that, but definitely ask for it. LPA is a small protein that can travel in high levels through your bloodstream, accelerating the creation of the harmful plaque that can block the arteries. As it flows through, clumping together more and more plaque, your arteries will gradually narrow, limiting the blood supply needed to pump your heart and brain. This leads to an additional risk of blood clots, heart attack, stroke, and stenosis. Genetics plays a kind of part in this cholesterol, a potential risk factor for heart disease. Many people might not know they even have because they're not testing for it. In fact, LPA is most prevalent in genetic risk factors for coronary heart disease and aortic stenosis, wrote Sandra Vevel Tremolis. She's the founder of the Lipoprotein A Foundation, a nonprofit aiming to raise awareness about the LPA and the heart risk that it brings. And in an email to Healthline, she outlined this. When she was 22, her father died of a heart attack. At age 50, she never thought the same thing would happen to her, given her healthy lifestyle, but she didn't realize she posed a hidden risk. She herself had been living unaware that LPA resulted in widowmaker blockage in an artery of her heart, which put her at risk of dying of a severe heart attack by age 39, she wrote. The myth has to be busted. People have to understand that they can inherit risk factors from clogged arteries. You don't have to have the same bad lifestyle that other people are having to end up with a heart attack. Some people are born genetically predisposed to having cardiovascular disease, she said. So this is another thing. So if you have this in your family, you definitely need to check for that extra test. The go-to cholesterol and lipid panel test doesn't include the LPA blood test, so you have to ask your doctor for a separate exam. The U.S. National Library of Medicine recommends people who have had heart disease, despite having normal results from the lipid test, people with high... Let me go through this again here. The U.S. National Library of Medicine recommends people who have heart disease, despite having normal results from the lipid test, people with high cholesterol, even though they have a healthy diet, and those with a family history of heart disease, especially if it occurred at an early age or result of a sudden death, should seek out this blood test. She says awareness is growing, and her work to develop these treatments and managing the LP levels are growing also. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention approved 2 ICD-10 codes for the diagnosis of the elevated LPA levels. This is a system healthcare providers use, classify, and in other words, this is the codes that they use. So now they have the codes. So if you're on Medicare or your health insurance company has these codes now where they didn't before. So a lot of times people will get turned down to have these tests because the codes aren't there. These new diagnostic codes will enable clinics to identify clearly in the medical records the presence of a strong risk factor for cardiovascular disease and to tailor prevention and treatment strategies. While not widely discussed, the LPA is a common issue. The LPA Foundation reports almost 63 million people in the United States have high LPA levels. Given that it's so common, why don't we hear more about it? It's simply not a routine screening, says most doctors. LPA is not discussed as much because we do not screen people for elevated levels of LPA, unlike the LDL cholesterol. In fact, screening the population at large is not recommended by most society guidelines around the world. Main reasons for that. The first is that it is a genetically determined marker for cardiovascular disease that cannot be significantly modified with lifestyle changes. Interesting. The second is that we do not have easily accessible or tolerable therapies to lower the LPL levels. The third reason is that the medications that lower LPA levels also lower LDLs, so it has been proven difficult to attribute clinically important effects like a reduction in heart disease and strokes to LPA lowering alone. Given that the prevalence of LPA is really driven by your genetics, it's difficult to lower your level even if you make significant lifestyle changes. He notes that the 2 main causes of medications approved for use, they aren't formally used to treat the LPA specifically, just the LDLs. These medications are nicotrinic acid, maybe named after me, I guess, PCSK9 inhibitors. Right now, there are clinical trials to test these new treatments. So it's coming down the line. So who's at risk? People who are have a history of heart disease and heart events, and men before the age of 55, women before 65 should be screened for LPA. And he adds, people who are at an immediate or moderate risk for heart disease should also be tested for this. Elevated or not elevated LPL levels help better risk strategy. So a person who is informed about these discussions and you have that in your personal history, this is going to help you later on. And when they start screening for this is going to help too, I suppose. If you're newly diagnosed and unsure of whether you're moving forward or what to do moving forward, don't discount your lifestyle improvements. Don't discount eating healthier, because this still can help you. This can still help manage the overall effect. So they haven't really ruled out that exercise or even changing your diet can affect this or not. I think it definitely can. The basics are still very important, of course, including non-smoking, maintaining a healthy weight, the diet of moderation like fruits and vegetables, regular exercise. I also encourage, this doctor says, the opinion of your regular physician or cardiologist about more aggressive modification and the treatment if you have those risk factors such as the elevated LDLs and hypertension. Ask for your doctor's opinion. Let's see what else is in here. She says, beyond this, it's necessary that people who have this kind of cholesterol should educate themselves by working with their doctors to come up with a heart disease prevention plan and stay vigilant and about possible strokes or heart attack symptoms. So you have to know what these symptoms are naturally, and you have to really work with your doctor. I think changing your diet and exercise is a big clue, and there's a lot of information that really isn't being told, which we're going to go over in the next section. So stick around with this, and this is really an important subject, so I want to really go into it deeply. So we'll be right back.
Would like to tell you about the personal training studio that Nico is the owner and president of, Performance Training. Since 1998, Nico has trained individuals and groups to improve their health both mentally and physically. As a certified personal trainer, Nico's main focus is on demonstrating exercises correctly to avoid injury and teaching his clients how to manage their past injuries while getting the most out of their personal training sessions. The Performance Training Studio is filled with unique training equipment that enhances balanced results at a faster rate while minimizing damage and discomfort. For more information, you can give Nico a call at 727-418-8740 or email him at nico@tfnn.com. Let him know you heard him on TFNN and save up to $100 on a special package just for TFNN listeners. Act today. The TAS Profile Scanner is the most revolutionary piece of trading software that you will ever try. Wouldn't you like to approach the markets with confidence? As you begin your trading day, it's likely that you'll be faced with lots of decisions. In order to make the best decision, the first thing you'll need is a strategy that will help you minimize your risks. Whether we're in a bull or bear market, a good strategy is to have the tools needed to help you scan and analyze the markets before you trade. The TAS Profile Scanner instantly scans and filters over 2,500 global financial markets, such as stocks, ETFs, commodity futures, and Forex. Headed by Steve Dahl, president of TAS Market Profile, the TAS Profile Scanner understands that in today's technological world, the use of top-flight software applications, automated trading algorithms, and technical analysis expertise is essential to successful trading in today's market. Whether you're looking at the trade matrix, the ETF heat grid, the market breadth, the landscape charts, or the many other features of the TAS Profile Scanner, this is a piece of software that will revolutionize how you look at the markets and set up your trades. The team at TAS has even put together a 12-part video series to walk you through every aspect of the TAS Profile Scanner, which you can find directly on the TAS order page at tfnn.com. Sign up now for only $97 a month with a risk-free 30-day trial, so you have nothing to lose and everything to gain. See for yourself how you can harness the full power of the TAS Profile Scanner by visiting the front page of tfnn.com today, and you'll find the TAS Profile Scanner under the Services section. Remember, with a 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to lose. Don't let another day pass you by without trying out this amazing piece of software that will revolutionize how you look at the market and how you place trades. Sign up today.
This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
And welcome back. I'd like to remind you that we have our one-shot wonder here. Primal Edge is our ancestral comprehensive daily nutrition. It's powered by nature's miracle molecules, fulvic and humic acid. You have in here over 310 organic cell-ready liquid ingredients, and there's 74 plus plant-based iconic minerals and elements, 13 vitamins, including additional powerful different forms of vitamins and minerals that will help you detox, will help you lose weight. And of course the fulvic and humic acid are the ones that kind of tell the cells, open up, let me in, and take the bad stuff out. So very important you pick up the Primal Edge. One-shot wonder. I take it every morning, about 20 minutes before you eat, and you're good for the day. It's $89 right to your door every single month. So please pick that up. So we talk a lot about cholesterol here, good cholesterol, bad cholesterol. It gets kind of confusing in here, but there's a lot of things going on in our society that are related to our diet and how we live and our whole mindset in America. And it's very confusing because we have lots of violence here. And, you know, we have people playing a lot of different types of games. Is that the link there? We have a lot of volatility in our politics, naturally, more divisive than ever, I think. And this happens every once in a while. And we have a lot of people owning guns, a lot of people using guns, a lot of killings in America. And we always wonder, you know, why is this happening? And, you know, and I really do think that diet plays a big role. And, you know, we have an article, and this is from Green Med Info, and we always go to these people because they're really knowledgeable and really digging deep into, you know, what people are feeding us and how these drugs work and how diseases work and what they are telling us and what they're not telling us. So it's important that we use these kind of people that have no affiliation to any kind of selling of anything. It's just a database that is run by Sarah G., and the man is just tremendous. So let's go through this. You heard for decades about the danger of high cholesterol, but did you know that low cholesterol can lead to violence towards yourself and others, and it has been linked to premature aging, death, and other adverse effects. So violence is in this. In the world gone mad with anti-cholesterol anxiety, when we're gobbling down pharmaceuticals designed to poison the body and no longer synthesize it correctly into some kind of miracle drug that is not working for us, folks, it's refreshing to look at some new research about the benefits of cholesterol. Because cholesterol is really needed for many, many things. We've talked about in the past that cholesterol is there kind of like the firemen showing up at the fire. They're there to help. Cholesterol is kind of like spackling, that your arteries, as we're getting older, we need more cholesterol because we want our arteries to be coated like the spackling or like the plaster does. So it's important to realize that this is the real benefit of cholesterol. Now, cholesterol is also needed to prevent aggression. It has been known for almost 30 years that low serum cholesterol levels are associated with habitual violence tendencies of homicidal offenders under the influence of alcohol. Since then, there have been at least 8 other studies that have either confirmed or explored the cholesterol violence link, including both violence towards self and other. One of the possible explanations for the association was discussed in an article published in the British Journal of Psychiatry in 1993. One of the functions of serotonin is the central nervous system, is the suppression of harmful behavior impulses. Low membrane cholesterol disease decreases the number of serotonin receptors. This membrane cholesterol exchanges freely with cholesterol in the surrounding medium. A lower serum cholesterol concentration may contribute to a decrease in brain serotonin with poorer suppression of aggression behavior. Not surprisingly, several reports have now surfaced on the cholesterol-lowering statin drugs' contribution to irritating and aggression. Cholesterol is also needed to fight cancer. The inverse relationship between cholesterol levels and the risk of a variety of cancers and mortality associated with cancer has been known about since the late 80s. Since then, the cholesterol-cancer connection has been confirmed over and over again. It is to be expected, therefore, that statin drug use would be linked to increased cancer incidence, which indeed it is. Even when you take the so-called bad LDL and administer it to a culture of highly malignant, multi-drug resistant leukemia cells, the cells lose their resistance to chemotherapy. Not exactly what can be characterized as a bad substance. Cholesterol is also needed to prevent the hemorrhagic stroke. This is the two types of stroke with lack of blood supply or oxygen to the body. It's another one associated with the rupture of a blood vessel. So one restricts and the other one is broken. The risks of the former, in theory, could be raised in the presence of excessive oxidation cholesterol. However, it is the risk for the second, the hemorrhagic stroke, which is decreased when cholesterol levels are low. Noted back as far as 1994, the British Medical Journal, in an article assessing the possible hazards of reduced serum cholesterol, researchers found that the only cause of death attributed to low serum cholesterol concentration was that type of stroke. Other studies were viewed to confirm this. The other thing is cholesterol is needed for memory. New HDL cholesterol has been identified, or low HDL cholesterol has been identified as a risk factor for deficit and decline in memory in midlife. Even in Parkinson's disease, higher total serum cholesterol concentrations are associated with the slower clinical progress of the disease. Statin drugs will where was I here? Statin drugs will inhibit the production of cholesterol, hence severely affect the brain, and are now required by the FDA to display a black, so they're putting a warning on there. Now, cholesterol is also needed for longevity. In a fascinating study published in 2011, telomere length, the shoestring cap-like ends of the chromosomes which prevent DNA damage associated with cellular aging, were linked to a higher LDL and total cholesterol levels. The longer the length of these protective caps, the higher the cholesterol. Indeed, several studies indicate that lower cholesterol is associated with increased mortality. And the final is that cholesterol helps us fight infection. It's been observed that the cholesterol-rich diet improves patients with tuberculosis, other things too. So, you know, a lot of studies have been going on, and we're finding that a lot of these things that they say are bad are actually good for us, and then if we lower these things, they may be causing more violence. And of course, that's predominant in our society today. So, you know, I really want to explore this more as we go through these. They have a lot of sources linked here. This is going to be in the next Health Signals newsletter, and I'll have these links in here so you can do some of your own research. I always find it curious that most of the studies come out of Europe, England, India, China, Russia. Very, very few good studies are coming out of the United States anymore, because most of the studies are done by themselves. So, and I got something here from Paige, which I'll read, and when we get back on the air, she's giving me a little blast here. I'll be right back. You know what's cool? Taking something that's good for you. Something specifically formulated to help with weight loss, better sleep, stress reduction, and the need to detox.
Nico, our hunter and gatherer ancestors found all their nutritional requirements for health in their wild environment. But today, our food sources no longer contain the vitamins, minerals, and nutrients our bodies need to stay healthy and strong.
That's why we need Primal Edge Daily Nutrition. It includes a special blend of ionic, soil-based vitamins, minerals, fatty, and amino acids in an easy-to-use liquid form.
Primal Edge is powered by highly concentrated fulvic and humic acids, nature's preferred delivery system. They have been called miracle molecules because, like sunlight, air, and water, life cannot exist without them.
That's right, Paige. They ensure we receive all the nutrition we need to be healthy and thrive. We take it every morning.
Primal Edge, formulated and approved by Nico and Paige of Living a Primal Lifestyle. Buy it today for just $89. Click on the Primal Edge banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
No matter what kind of trader you are, 2018 is a great time to try out a subscription to Tom O'Brien's Gold Report. Whether you just plan on diversifying your portfolio with some exposure to gold and gold mining equities, or you're a gold bull that sees 2018 as the year of commodities, now is a great time to sign up for the Gold Report. Tom O'Brien publishes his Gold Report every Monday morning before the market opens and covers a variety of topics including gold, silver, platinum, copper, the XAU and HUI, the dollar, bonds, South African rand, as well as more than 20 of the most actively traded mining equities. Start your 2018 off with a bang and sign up for the Gold Report today. The Gold Report is a long-term newsletter where the focus is on building real wealth through the management of a successful portfolio of gold stocks. For all the details and to start your subscription right now, visit the front page of TFNN.com and you'll find the Gold Report under Investment Newsletters. David White's newsletter, The Technology Insider, is focused like a laser on finding the next big things in technology. If you had invested only $10,000 in Microsoft in 1986, you'd have been a millionaire by 2000. Disruptive technology like Microsoft's is the key to these massive long-term profits, and the Tech Insider is the vehicle from TFNN to capitalize on these opportunities. This is the go-to newsletter that identifies, monitors, and profits on mostly little-known cutting-edge companies with great long-term prospects. David's experience is as an inventor of Emmy-winning animation products for TV and Hollywood that propelled a company public. Match that with 14 years as a full-time trader, and he's uniquely qualified to guide you through the light-speed world of ever-evolving high-tech. If you're ready to ride the next big technology bull market for less than $40 per month, log on to TFNN.com and get your 2-week free trial to the Technology Insider. Get in on the ground floor of the next big thing today.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV for the latest market information.
And welcome back to the show. Just got a little message from Paige. She says, "Good morning. Have a blast, but phone is not behaving. My daughter designed the trip, detailing the trip on Instagram. I'm not Instagram, so well, I guess I'll have to join that. I will do a trip video to share when we get back." She has a nice photo here, a couple of little clips of her with some elephants, Indian elephants. Very cool, and I'll bring this over to a format that we can show it on the next show. So it's very cool. Thanks, Paige. Always doing stuff for the show. Very cool. So now that we've identified that there's different types of cholesterol, and of course the LDLs are divided into two, one being the LDLA, which are the smaller, high dense. You know, we have these big fluffy ones which are really good for us, even though it's LDLs, but we also have the other ones. And she said there was an amazing cooking class. I just got another thing there. So are statin side effects worth the risk? What cholesterol meds are doing to your brain. Now, statin drugs are there to lower your cholesterol. They work by blocking an enzyme called HMG-CoA reductase, which makes your body much slower at synthesizing the cholesterol. So what it's doing is slowing down your natural process to process more cholesterol if your body needs it. This is kind of the way that your body works. As you get older, your body needs a little more cholesterol. Remember, it's there to patch out those arteries, to smooth them out, so you're going to live a lot longer and be healthier. So this is what statins are doing. They're actually making it slower to synthesize the cholesterol itself. When statin lowers the reductase, they disrupt a lot more than cholesterol synthesis, causing less than desirable side effects. Blocking the HMG-CoA reductase messes with energy production, brain function, metabolism, and hormone balance. Statin effects aren't worth the risk, especially because lowering cholesterol doesn't actually make much of a difference when it comes to heart disease. You're better off focusing on lowering inflammation. You may have heard of the statins before. They're some of the most prescribed drugs in North America, and to be fair, they're great at what they do. Statins are very, very good at lowering cholesterol. If you want to decrease your cholesterol numbers without exercising or changing what you eat, statins can help, but their side effects may not be worth it. The question is, do you want to lower your cholesterol? Cholesterol is not the artery clogging problem doctors thought it was. The link between cholesterol and heart disease is weak at best. To keep your artery strong, you're better off focusing on lowering your inflammation, which looks like the real culprit behind heart disease. And really, when you think about it, inflammation is the culprit behind every disease. And inflammation is there to show you that there's a problem. It's an indication saying, here's the problem. When we have this process, when you hurt yourself, or you fall down, you hurt your elbow, your wrist, or something like that, inflammation comes there to protect it. That's the way that works. But that also shows a sign in your body that there's something wrong, because there's not going to be inflammation unless there's a need for it. Inflammation is there to swell things up and kind of protect and isolate things while the repairing is being done. So it's necessary. And there's a lot of people say that even, using ice and things like that. And in traditional Chinese medicine, they don't use ice. They say this is what disrupts it. But there also are dire need for reducing the swelling. When the swelling gets too bad, that can really, really be a problem too. So I think in Western medicine that the icing in a lot of cases is not a problem, and I use it. I just use it limitedly and, at a limit, maybe for the first day or so when the swelling is there. And if there's acute swelling, then I'm going to use it again, but otherwise I'm going to let it heal. Let's see. The question is, do you want to lower your cholesterol? Yes, we've gone through that. So let's look at some of the side effects. Statins interfere with your mitochondria. Take this down here. So where we are. So statins make your mitochondria, the powerhouse of your cells, struggle to produce energy, and here's why. Statins lower your cholesterol by blocking the HMG-CoA reductase, an enzyme that's essential to cholesterol synthesis. In other words, statins work by making your cholesterol production tank. The reductase is a critical part of several other pathways in your body, including the CoQ10 synthesis. Your mitochondria needs the CoQ10 to make energy, and they also get protection from it. CoQ10 is a powerful antioxidant and the main one in your mitochondria. Without enough CoQ10, your mitochondria takes on a lot of oxidative damage and becomes less efficient at making energy. Also, mitochondria, of course, is important, and Sarah G. wrote a whole book on it. It's called Making Your Mitochondria Stronger. Your brain is packed with these things, and it means that they're the first place you feel any change in your function, good or bad. This could explain why statins cause a side effect like brain fog, memory loss, and usually stop when people have these symptoms. They're usually stopped. And why statins cause significant fatigue, especially for women. My wife had this experience. She was on statins for, I think, a couple of years. And then I really didn't realize it, and we talked about it a little bit, and finally she decided that she was going to get rid of the statins. They were causing some muscle spasms, and her muscles not feeling quite right. And this is some of that significant fatigue that Sarah G. is talking about. Statins weakens your mitochondria, which contribute to the fatigue and brain fog, and that's the first reason to avoid them. Another side effect, it makes your brain weaker in the long run. Your neurofunctions are surrounded by your support cells called glia. Whenever your neurons get damaged or stressed, glia comes in to repair them. And the glia also insulate pathways between the neurons so that the information travels through them quickly and your brain works faster. So glia produces a fatty coating to insulate your cells that's mostly made of cholesterol. And statins block this glia, that's spelled G-L-I-A, from producing the cholesterol, which makes your brain slower, destroys your brain cells. This is another possible explanation why the side effect of statins include memory loss. Cholesterol is a precursor to testosterone, estrogen, prednisone, and all the other sex hormones. When you take a statin, it blocks these synthesis, and it slows down your synthesis as possible. The difference is meaningful. Studies have found that statins lower men's testosterone levels by 10 to 15%. The average testosterone level in men has been steadily declining by about 1% per year since the 1970s, and we see that a lot of people are having trouble giving birth. This is a trend in our society, in the United States, and even in the Western cultures. Statin also destabilizes blood sugar and increases the risk of your diabetes. So another important factor is to remember the perfect combination is that causes diabetes. With high blood sugar, high insulin, and an inability to clear glucose, you expect statins to increase the risk of diabetes. But as it turns out, it doesn't. A recent review over a dozen studies, more than 100,000 people concluded that the statins increase the risks of diabetes, and the longer you're on statins, the more risk you have. Not good. So getting off these types of drugs that we make here in the United States is a really, really good idea if you want to be healthy. Stick around, folks. I got another segment coming up. And please, during the break, pick up our Primal Edge, One Shot Wonder, and also please pick up our Health Signals newsletter. I'll be right back.
I'm certain you are or strive to be one of the best at everything you do in life. It's the most common trait that we tigers and tigresses share. If you're looking to become the best of the best when it comes to managing your money, let me teach you to do what most wealth managers tell you can't be done, which is how to time the markets. I'm Steve Rhodes, author of Mastering Probability, and for the last 12 months, Timer Digest has been tracking my newsletter signals, which have earned me the ranking as their #1 market timer in the nation for the S&P 500 for the last 12, 6, and 3 months. Timer Digest also ranks me as the #1 market timer for gold as well. The fact is, markets can be timed, and I'll teach you the exact set of tools that I use that has transformed me into one of the best at what I do. Sign up for Mastering Probability today by clicking on the newsletter tab on the homepage of TFNN.com and get immediate access to workshops where I take you step by step how to use an extraordinary set of tools as well as provide great market calls too. Sign up today.
Hi folks, Tom O'Brien here. If you'd like to get my daily newsletter, Market Insights, then now is a great time to sign up for a 30-day free trial. Every morning by 9:30, I send out my morning letter to subscribers with market commentary on a variety of markets, currencies, and commodities to keep investors up to date on the day's trading action. Included in Market Insights are specific buy and sell recommendations for stocks, ETFs, and even options, with stops and price targets included for every trade in my newsletter. If you'd like to try my newsletter risk-free for 30 days, then head over to the front page of TFNN and you'll find Market Insights under Trading Newsletters. I use my years of trading experience to bisect and dissect the market every morning and give my subscribers the most important information they need to know for the day ahead. I even issue afternoon updates for my subscribers whenever warranted with important market action. I'm always scouring the market for the next great trading opportunity. Sign up for your 30-day free trial to my daily newsletter, Market Insights, today by visiting the front page of TFNN.com. Wow! Go get 'em, folks.
TFNN has put together the best lineup of live content for traders by traders every market day, featuring some of the most knowledgeable and respected minds in the business. TFNN broadcasts 5 days a week, live from 8:30 a.m. till 5 p.m. Eastern Time. Every morning at 8:30 a.m., Jason Paff starts things off with his program, The Morning Market Kickoff. At 9 a.m., Larry Pezzamento breaks down the market for the opening bell with Trade What You See. At 10 a.m., Tom and Tommy O'Brien host the Bull Bear Nadex Options Hour, followed at 11 a.m. by the team at TD Ameritrade and Thinkorswim with Fast Market. Basil Chapman hosts the Tiger Technicians Hour at noon, Steve Rhodes at 1 p.m. with the Trader's Edge, Dave White at 2 p.m. with the Power Trading Hour, and Tom O'Brien anchors the daily lineup from 3 till 5 as host of the Tom O'Brien Show. Tune in to TFNN's Tiger TV on your computer or mobile device, and you can always find us streaming on YouTube. TFNN.com, educating investors.
And welcome back. Of course, we're talking about cholesterol, and one of the things about the Primal diet is high in fat. And of course, we have to be sure that you're getting the proper types of fats. And a lot of the fats, of course, in our society have been vilified over the last 50 years. That's been the trend. And butter is one of them. And if you're able to enjoy anything with casein in it, any kind of those enzymes from animals that are from the milk, then if you're good with that, then you can enjoy butter, and there's really good reasons for it. A study from the Lund University in Sweden shows that butter leads considerably less leads to considerably less elevation of fats in the blood after a meal compared with olive oil, flaxseed oil, or a new type of canola oil. Of course, flaxseed oil, canola oil are types of oil I would never recommend. Any of those vegetable type of oils, which are not really vegetable oils, of course, they're seed oils, I would not recommend. I would recommend maybe using olive oil, of course, not heating it much unless it's really, really pure and hasn't gone through too many processes. Also, sesame oil and, of course, coconut oil and all these other oils that we've been using very successfully. So I think fat is really good. The researchers point out that 20% of the fat in butter consists of short and medium chain length fatty acids. These are used directly as energy and do not stay around long enough to affect blood fat levels very much. Researchers opinioned that although butter raises blood cholesterol in the long term, its short-term effects may actually be advantageous. Not everybody agrees, of course, blah, blah, blah. But there's been a real concern, the best way to do it is test it on yourself. Have a little butter, doesn't affect you, see how you feel. Use it in my coffee. I use it on my eggs. It's a great, great butter that's been used for years. And remember, this is what we cooked with for a long time, along with lard and things that your grandmother probably kept on the stove. And it wasn't until, and I had an article here about cottonseed oil saying it's one of the best oils, and we don't eat cottonseed oil. I mean, cottonseed oil was used as a lubricant, as was many of these so-called vegetable oils, and canola is one of those things made from the rapeseed. So these things we don't recommend. Go back to your natural fats and you'll be very good. Thanks for sticking around, folks. A little lonely here without Paige, but I'll be bringing some pictures next time and maybe some videos. So hope she's having a great time. I'll see you on the next show next Tuesday. Bye-bye.
Jason Paff has just launched his weekly newsletter, The Quantitative Edge, available only at TFNN.com. Right now, you can sign up for Jason's outstanding weekly report, including midweek updates whenever warranted, with a 30-day money-back guarantee included, so you have nothing to risk. Jason develops his trade recommendations by creating an ensemble of predictive and mathematical models trained on data by leveraging a variety of techniques, including market-based computer simulations. Jason then combines these sophisticated predictive and analytical models with deeply researched macro outlooks to identify opportunities in a number of different markets for traders to act on. Whether you're looking to trade futures, equities, commodities like crude oil and gold, forex, or cryptos, Jason covers it all. Sign up for Jason Paff's weekly trading newsletter right now by visiting the front page of TFNN.com, and you'll find the Quantitative Edge under the Newsletters tab. TFNN.com, educating investors.